right, The Boys, episode 6. Now that's what I'm talking about. There's a lot to unpack in this episode, so let's get started. Okay, so first, I don't know what was up with that intro with the John Lennon Imagine song, but we see that Homelander, the Deep, and Ashley find out the Soldier Boy is alive and is trying to prevent from that video going out or anyone else finding out. And you can kind of see, like, I don't know if because Ashley is bringing up all these questions that he's kind of like out of it, and you start to get the sense of, is it fear? But then we find out that it's the fear, yes, but of the company will go down and that it will destroy him, because that's the face of Vault, Soldier Boy. For him to be loose and reckless will go against what Vault stands for, and he says, I have to kill him. And then we see that scene with Black Noir and Homelander, and he's like, you're the only one I can trust. And then Black Noir gets in the elevator, he's like, oh shit, and he takes out his tracker and it's like,
fuck this shit, I'm out.
At first I thought I was gonna go find his old teammates and warn them, but we come to find out that he's scared and that the twins are saying that it was all his doing, that he's the one that sold them out to the Russians. So wow, for Black Noir to be scared of Soldier Boy, it's a big deal. Then we find out that the boys are hiding out the Soldier Boy in some motel, and they make a deal that Butcher and Huey will help Soldier Boy find the rest of his teammates if he could add one more to his list, and that's Homelander. And Soldier Boy agrees. And it was interesting that Soldier Boy's shield is heavy. It kind of reminded me of Marvel's Avengers, where everyone's trying to lift Thor's hammer, but they couldn't. Just an indication of Soldier Boy's strength. Then we see that Kamiko is abducted at the hospital. She's kind of worried that Frenchie left her there because of the kiss, but that wasn't so. Then we get a scene of Starlight and Marvin, where Marvin tells us a backstory of how his grandpa died, and now it's just eating at him, and he's saying, I gotta kill Soldier Boy or this shit's gonna kill me. And we see it divide in the boys. We got Starlight and Marvin versus Huey and Butcher. Then we get karma for A-Train, how Ashley puts him in his spot, said, oh, you killed all these 3 people and you have no remorse for them. But when it happens to you, all of a sudden you want justice, which helped down the line for him to finally make a real apology to Huey on killing Robin. And you can see Huey was like, fuck, he's sincere, like, no, I want him to be fake so I can kick his ass now that I got superpowers. But he punched him anyway. Even A-Train was shocked, like, how did you do that? Like, I actually felt pain. Then we find out that Deep got intel that Black Noir left because he's scared of Soldier Boy, and then he has a feeling he's going to seek out the twins in Vermont. Same intel that the boys have. And you could just see Homelander disappointed, like, no, he's the only one that I trusted. He couldn't have run. Then you can kind of see Deep, like, getting frustrated with his wife, like, hey man, I got this. Like, stop interfering while I'm talking to Homelander. You're making me look weak. Well, what's up with Homelander's mirror talk? That's the first time in the series where we see that. Is this? I wonder if this is done in the comics as well. We get to see him talking to his alter ego, the pure perfection Soup, versus him, the human side, with all these emotions, and him confessing that he wants to be loved, and the wrestling of that idea that we have to kill that human side of him so he can be perfect. I wonder if he has a split personality. We hear it from Soldier Boy that he's not a bad guy, to Huey when Huey questioned him what happened in Midtown. But yeah, when he faced up against Marvin saying, you killed my family, and he says, which one? That doesn't sound like a good guy at all. That scene where Butcher shows up back to the motel telling Soldier Boy that he's got the dress for the twins at Vermont, and they show that scene where they're shooting up. That was hilarious. It's like a montage of them getting ready and putting on their suits, but it's a montage of them shooting up for superhero time.
We're gonna need a montage.
Then we see Deep show up at the twins' house, and he finds out that they're having their 17th annual Hero-gasm. And at first I didn't get it, but yeah, it's all these soups and an orgy. So when Marvin and Starlight show up, you see this soup with the extended penis power. That was hilarious. And that time that Marvin got, how can I say this? He got shot in some liquid, I'll say that. That's the most nudity I've seen from this show, and really graphic in a different way. So we find out that Vicky, the new CEO of Bot, knows that Huey knows about her, and you see Starlight with a reaction like, oh, you know that we know? And she wants Starlight to help her with her numbers and promises protection to her from Homelander and making her the actual captain of the 7. But she's fed up. She's just fed up with this fake shit, as she puts it. So much so that she tells her, either pop my head or get the fuck out of here. And when she leaves, she feels her nose, and you can see her nose is bleeding. That is kind of like a warning to her, like, you better watch yourself. Then we see Frenchie having to choose between his sister Sherry and Kamiko, and if he doesn't make a choice, they'll both be dead. and we see Kamiko releases herself from the handcuffs and kills one of the guards, but there's another one and he shoots at her, but she's using the other guard as a cover. But still, I would think that the bullets will go through. And then we see that she's still alive, so this tells me, okay, so is she getting her superpowers back? Because there's only a temporary effect of Soldier Boy's power, but yet Soldier Boy killed other people with that power, so how is it that Kamiko survived? Because we saw the twins try and use their powers against Soldier Boy, but it didn't work. But we come to find out that Kamiko's still vulnerable, so that wasn't really explained if her powers were really coming back or not. Alright, so we're at this 17th annual Herogasm. Huey convinces Soldier Boy that he wants no casualties from the others, so if he can give him 3 minutes to spot where the twins are at, then he'll come back and tell them where they are, so everyone else can be spared. And that scene where fucking the deep man, him and that octopus, he's getting a blowjob from this octopus and Starlight finds him, it was just hilarious. But anyways, as Huey was trying to track down the twins, he runs into A-Train and they get into that altercation where he's demanding an apology, but he punches A-Train anyway. Huey loses focus on his mission because he's focused on A-Train and wanting revenge. And now that he has power, he has the opportunity to do so. But Starlight points it out that, that it was the effects of the drug, but this is really you. That Butcher is right. How did he put it? This isn't power, this is punishment, something along those lines. Which I guess goes to that Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. We find that Blue Hawk is at that orgy party too. Starlight is trying to warn him that, hey, Soldier Boy's coming, you gotta get these people out of here. Anyways, we get an altercation now with A-Train and Blue Hawk. And A-Train finally uses his powers one last time and kills Blue Hawk by dragging him in high speed. And we see that the doctor was right, that either his heart's gonna blow up or nothing will happen at all, but we find out that sure enough, A-Train dies. We see the return of that shrunk guy. I don't know his actual name, but to see that he's like, help me, and then you see Homelander's foot squash him. Talk about karma. The fight, we finally get the fight. I'm skipping ahead. So we see Soldier Boy shows up to the party and Marvin's there and he throws some kind of smoke bomb, but to no avail. And Marvin still thinks he has a chance, but luckily Butcher shows up and says not him, like to spare him. And you can see in Butcher's face like wanting to tell Marvin like, I know you want this, but and you can see Butcher saying like, don't do this, man, it's suicide. I mean, he tells him that, but you can see in his face like, I know how bad you want this, but you stand no chance, and I care about you to even let you try. Then we get the fight of the century, finally, Soldier Boy versus Homelander. And it's cool that Soldier Boy was like, you're just a cheap knockoff. And Homelander says, no, I'm an upgrade, and then they get straight into it. But what a perfect opportunity for Homelander to finally use his laser eyes on Butcher. And he plays dead, and luckily this is the right opportunity that he's using the Serum V, so he would survive this. And man, was I hoping Soldier Boy would be a little bit stronger than Homelander, but it looks like Homelander had the upper hand, that even Butcher had to come in and step in, and then it was 2 versus 1. And then they're both kicking their ass. And then now Huey shows up and it's like, oh, now it's 3 versus 1. And they got him pinned down and they're telling Soldier Boy, go ahead, use your powers. But you can kind of feel like, I can't use it because I just used it. But it just looked like it was taking a while longer, that I really thought that they were going to hurt Homelander. Not kill him, but at least hurt him. But we didn't get that opportunity. Homelander managed to get away. And I wonder if we're going to see a rematch in the very last episode. Maybe there's a way for Soldier Boy to use his powers against Homelander, where he doesn't kill him, but he just removes his powers like he did with Kamiko. And then maybe in season 4, Homelander has to learn how to live without his superpowers. That'll eventually come back, and maybe see a change and growth in that character in the next season. So let's get to the end. Starlight streams on her phone, telling America the truth about superheroes, Soldier Boy, that they never really cared about them, that all they care about is their image, and that Homelander is the worst one. And she announces that she's no longer Starlight and she quits. I was afraid that in that moment we were gonna see her head get popped, because she's streaming live, so I was assuming that Vicky, the CEO of VOD, is watching, and that was gonna be the cliffhanger of the episode. So thank God that didn't happen. Because remember, her nose was bleeding, and that was Vicky giving her a warning. So I kept thinking about that as I saw her streaming live. It's like any moment now her head's gonna pop. Poor Huey. And basically Starlight did what Homelander was afraid of. She spilled the beans, and now Homelander's gonna be after her. That I think she has no choice but to reunite with the boys for her protection. And that's gonna be awkward since Huey and her are still in a rough patch. This was an exciting episode, like It's kind of, I hope the last episode is as exciting as this one was. I rate this episode a 10 out of 10. But let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy the episode? I know I did. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.